Hey guys, so today is a little different of a video. I'm going to show you how I make my thumbnails on my iPad, and this is a heavily requested video. Like, I get this question literally like almost on every single video, and this is how my thumbnails look, and it's always like kind of just changing up all the time. I don't have a specific style down yet, but I'm going to show you how I make it on my iPad. It is so simple when you get the hang of it, and I just want to say disclaimer, I'm not good at explaining things. So if you have any, so if you still have some questions, so if you still have some so if you still have some questions by the, so if you still have some questions by the end of this video, just comment down below and I will try to answer it there. I forgot to say this before, but today's shoutout goes to Cassie, Zalea, and Nabila Vlogs. I will leave both their channels linked down below so you guys can go check it out. Okay, finally onto the video. That took like 5 hours. I make my thumbnails in Procreate, and I have a whole stack of like thumbnails I've made in past or failed thumbnails. So the reason I like to use Procreate is because it's not only good for digital art and drawings, it's also good for making like your thumbnails and also your icon and your channel banner, which is how I made them. So the thumbnail size is 920 by 1080 pixels, and if you use like a regular image, it's not going to fit on there, so you have to make sure that you're using this size. So the first thing you need to do is pick a photo, and for example, I picked this photo for my thumbnail, and this was on my very recent video, which you can check out on that little corner over there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Procreate, and I'm going to open this image in there. I'm just going to click add, and then I'm going to click insert a photo, and then I can choose that photo and it'll insert. Once you've chosen your photo, you're going to change the sizing of it because it is going to be a little bit smaller, like the sides have white outlines, so you're just going to fit it to the size you want. So the next step is not necessary, but I always do this and it might be a little confusing. You're going to click that S button and you're going to crop out what you want to crop out, like the main thing. And for me, it was my hand and the mason jar. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you want to like change the background, or if you want to like a white outline, then this would be good to do that because you kind of have it on a different layer and you're not going over the image. Once you've done that, you're going to click copy and paste, and it should appear on a new layer, just the things you've cropped out on a new layer. The next thing I'm focusing on is changing the background, and I don't want to do like a too much of a different type of color. I'm just doing a color that matches because I didn't really crop this well, and I still have the shadows from underneath my hand. Okay, so this next step I do in all of my thumbnails. I basically go in and smooth everything out, and what I mean by that is if you look at the strawberry, then you can see the lighting, you can see where the lighting is coming from, and the Mod Podge and how it makes it kind of shiny. So I just want everything to be very subtle, and so I'm taking my medium airbrush, I think it's my medium airbrush, but something from the airbrush category. I'm going in with the same colors and I am filling it with random colors and blobs. And once you've done that, you're just going to go to Gaussian blur and blur it all together. I know it doesn't really make sense, so I'll explain it in a little bit. By a little bit, I mean right now. So I'm taking the same exact color of my hand with the color tool, and then I'm adding some like pink to my hand and also the same type of color, and I'm doing the same with the strawberry, and I'm doing everything on a different layer. Make sure that when you're doing everything, it's on a different layer. And once I've done that, I'm going to Gaussian blur and blur it out. And then after that, I'm going to erase the parts where I don't want that. Like, as you can see, I want the shadows to be darker because then it's just very visible and you can obviously tell. And on the strawberries, it just makes it like lighter in those parts. And I'm doing the same with the strawberry, same steps, same process, taking the lightest color possible, and I am doing it, I'm coloring it. But this one, I lowered the opacity because I want the seeds to still be visible. And of course, you can choose the darkest color, you don't have to choose the lightest color. The only reason I'm choosing the lightest color is because my background is all light and bright. Unless it's not the vibe you're going for, then just go for a darker color or just a color in between. It doesn't matter what color, it just depends on the vibe. Okay, so the next thing I want to work on is the paint streak, because it's just weird if I'm not painting anything with the paintbrush if I don't have a paint streak on it. So for this, I'm just going to search up like paint streak no background, so it comes as a clear PNG, and I'm just going to find one that I really like. And I don't know if the process for me doing this is correct, because basically what I do is try to find one, and then once I find one, I go on their website, and sometimes it's like money because you actually have to like buy it if you want to like keep it, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that. Sometimes it says like download PNG because it's like free, but I don't know if it does that for each time. But for this one, it was $10, and when I tried to do the other download, it said you had to sign up, so I just decided to go with the other one. I don't know if it does this for everyone, but I just decided to go with the one where I did it in the original thumbnail. So here it is. I am just going to change up the sizing, making it a little fatter, I guess, to fit the streak of my paintbrush. So I'm going to distort, making it shorter, making it thicker, and just changing everything up so it fits. The next part I'm working on is the paintbrush, and I just don't like how it says artist loft, because I don't want artist loft in my thumbnail, even though no one's going to notice that. But I'm going in on a new layer with the same type of color, and I'm just coloring that in. Next, I'm creating a new layer, and I'm going to put this on clipping mask and choose a very light blue color or white, so it goes with a kind of highlight. Even if you don't have any like lighting there, I still like to do this, and then I go to Gaussian blur and blur it out however much I want. Same thing goes for the paintbrush handle, except I'm putting them both on the same layer, copying down the colors, and then I'm just blurring out and erasing where I don't want it. So the last step is to add text, so I'm going to go to the wrench and click add text. And I also change up the fonts, and I usually do every single word on a different layer, unless it's like two words combined, like on the or something like that. And I'm going to put up on screen some of the fonts I like to use. I know it's a lot, but I like to use all of those type of fonts. So to download the fonts, I go to defont.com. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but they just have a bunch of free fonts. And for example, I'm going to show you Shoreline Script, which is a pretty good font. And so I click download and then click download again, and it should pop up in the top circle. I know every like version of the iPad is different, but for me at least, this is how it pops up. And then once you've clicked that, you can just click on that, and then you unzip it, and then you click import to Procreate, and it should be in Procreate. And so now you can just find your fonts. It should be in ABC order, and yeah. Okay, so for now I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm just going to click this wrench and click share and then PNG, and I can just save the image. I forgot to film this, but I added a drop shadow. Basically, you just have to duplicate the text and then move it a little bit over to the side and change the color. It's pretty simple. And then once I'm done with that, I like to change the like color and lighting in photos itself, and on camera it looks really weird. Like, I don't know why it looks like that, but I chose this one. It looks really weird from here, but trust me, in real life it looked normal. It looks so like bright and weird. So I think that is it for today's video. I was planning on doing like 3 different styles of thumbnails, but this video was getting pretty long. So if you still have some questions, I will try to answer it if I do another how to make a thumbnail tutorial. So make sure to leave them down below if you still have some, because I'm really bad at explaining things. And so if you have any suggestions for any future videos, comment down below, and make sure to like and subscribe because you definitely won't regret it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!